Welcome. Good morning, Dr. Kat. How are
Hi,
you?
Beatriz. Great to see you.
Great to see you too. So, let me explain you what is this that you just accept the invitation to come. This space, the name is ATMA con Beatriz. I mean, you speak a little bit of Spanish, so you know that con is with. Atma
Yep.
con Beatriz is the name in Spanish, and I decided to leave it like that. And Atma means aprendiendo a transformar nuestro mundo en alternativas, learning to transform our world in alternatives. So, and also means soul in Sanskrit. So, as you know, I love
Love
it.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's like the soul of the soul. So, this is just a casual conversation with my friends to introduce to my other friends and the friends that maybe already know you. But the first question is for me, I mean, for you to introduce yourself. Who is Dr. Kat? And from there, then we can build up the conversation.
Wow, it's a big question, Beatriz.
I
And
know.
I love that. I feel like I've had 9 lives, truly, like a cat. I am a medical doctor, general practitioner in family medicine, and my background is in psychology. But now I am an executive coach and a health and wellness coach. And I have my company, which is the Authenticity Institute. And I work with the Coach Partnership, which is where I met Beatriz, which is formerly Newfield Asia. And she was one of the somatic trainers when I did the program some 5 years ago, I think. And
Wow.
yeah, 5 years, Beatrice. Yeah.
Oh my God, that much. Oh, wow. Wow. 5 years.
5 years ago. Five
Okay,
years ago.
so continue with your introduction.
Yeah, so the work that I do with the Coach Partnership is actually as the director of the health coaching program. So Beatrice is actually one of our graduates and certified health coaches, and she is also now one of our mentor coaches. And this program is something that's very near and dear, to my heart. And connecting this to the topic of our talk today, which is about burnout and stress. For me, as a medical student, I had my kids. I had my first 2 kids while I was in medical school, and
Mhm.
as you can imagine, that's not easy.
No, my God, medical
Not at
school.
all.
Any school but medical school in very young on kids. No way. Yeah.
Totally, totally. And yeah, and I really went through a lot of stress and a lot of burnout at the time. And I kept on thinking there must be a better way to manage this, rather than keep on going through all of that stress, then getting sick. That was what was happening with me. And of course, raising 2 small kids as well, added to that, to that stress. So yeah, that's why I ended up really focusing on this quite a unique space, actually, which is in health and wellness coaching. And my background is also in functional medicine. I've trained in functional medicine.
Mhm.
So what I love is bringing all of these different backgrounds and training that I have together to make a unique offer, and to really be able to help people find their own authentic pathway to wellness. Because as we know, one way of treatment or wellness for one person won't necessarily work for everybody else.
Yeah.
Everyone is unique.
Mhm. Okay, so well, you said your background very fast, huh? So what is okay, but I want to say something else that yeah, I didn't realize that I met you 5 years ago. I really didn't know that
Mm,
uh, you were part of the that batch, and I remember I remember you perfectly the first conference that why am I gonna dance, and then the third one you were moving a lot, and now you
oh
love
my
me.
gosh,
And then
yes.
after you love me,
Yes.
but the
Yes, I remember because we did a lot of dancing, right, in the program. And it was really funny because like when I entered the program, I was like, why am I gonna, learn about
Yeah, what do I
somatics
have
and the
to do?
body? Like, why? I'm a doctor, I've studied this all my life, right? There's no need.
Just be
And
formal
little
and serious.
Exactly. But actually, little did I know, I knew nothing. That was it. I knew nothing about it. So
Yeah.
it was, and I remember that during a break, I'm like, Beatrice, I have to talk to you. It's like, Beatrice,
Yeah. No, and you were
why?
not
Why are we
alone.
doing this?
You were with your friends. I mean, I was
Yeah.
like the three of you, and I was like, oh my God, what should I do here? I remember perfectly that scene. But the thing is that Dr. Kat, as we call her in the program and in Singapore, she's based in Singapore, is also, I mean, as you said, the co-creator of this wonderful wellness, health and wellness coaching program. And you went to some other programs to find out
Yeah.
different alternatives that the world was offering in order to create a very good offer in Singapore. But she also was my coach when I was doing.
Mm.
So she was like this lady that she doesn't wanted to do what I was offering in my class, and then she loved me. And then in the program, everything changes, and I was her coachee. And I'm super grateful for your guidance and how I went through my process and how you
Mm.
were like a very professional as you are in everything that you do. Like you were not buying any story. Like you were super like okay here there still. I mean we're still in the process because there is something that I still have to do for something else, and she's super like 1 2 3 4 5 7. So this is something that I think that is very important asset that you have in order to manage this program, like all the people that is in the TEL classes, the students, the mentor coaches, and
Yep,
how you
yep.
have in your brain like okay you're a doctor but also these new aptitudes, these new tools that you have gotten through your coaching journeys because you have been in different methodologies so far.
Mhm.
So I just want to recognize that, yeah, we met there,
No.
but we have been meeting in different roles through that
Oh,
time.
so
So
many, so
yeah,
many
so thank you very
things.
much for that.
No,
And
you're
how,
most welcome.
what was your inspiration to become a doctor before? I mean,
Oh
before you,
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah,
how you decide to go for
my
a doctor?
family, definitely. I come from a family of surgeons and doctors. So my grandfather was an orthopedic surgeon. So he's a pure Spaniard. My grandfather from Catalan. So other people will say he's Catalan.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
So yeah, and then my father as well. So my dad is a peripheral vascular and trauma surgeon. So he trained at the Mayo Clinic. That's why I grew up in the U.S. for a bit. And then also, I have cousins as well who are doctors and nurses, and yeah, it's a very very medical family. So that was really my inspiration. And growing up seeing my dad, I think that's the biggest thing, seeing my dad, and he would take me on medical missions. I'm sure you're
Mm,
familiar with them. So what he was very passionate about helping other people, the less fortunate. Him and my grandfather. And my grandfather actually started this uh, institute, a medical missions, institute that would really bring surgeons together to far-flung areas in the Philippines to help patients and people who were sick and give
mm.
them free surgery and treatment. And my dad continued on in that legacy. And ever since I was 5 years old, I used to go with my dad on these trips. Sometimes you'd have to take a plane or ride a boat or drive hours and hours, to areas in the provinces out in the Philippines. And it was so much fun, as a kid, because I remember my dad would, allow me to do the prep. So like doing like sterilization, you put like betadine when
Wow.
they remove like little cysts and stuff. So
Yeah.
that was
Oh
my
my
that
God.
was my job, as
Uh-huh.
a kid. And eventually, every month actually we do that. So that was a big inspiration for me, seeing my family like being able to help so many people, those who
That's
are less
great.
fortunate. And I knew then that that was something that I wanted to do as well. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. That I mean, you came from that family. I came from a family. My father was a banker, and I was like, I will never become a banker. So sometimes, sometimes our parents inspire us to. I wanted to be a CEO. I got inspiration from my father that I wanted to be a director of a company, and I actually, when I got sick long time ago, when I saw the injection coming to my head because I lost all my hair, I got alopecia. I said, I'm not going to be the
Oh
CEO of any
dear.
company. I will be the CEO of my life. And then is when I started to do, when I went to India and I started doing this coaching journey in Colombia. So it was because, but I'm consider myself a CEO. So the inspiration of my life, what I'm doing in my
Oh,
projects. And I
I
got the
love it.
inspiration also from my father. So it's a very cute thing that happened to many of us in our life, that we see around us what is going on, and we when it's something that has a meaning and it's serving so many people, we got a lot of inspiration, and we also said, I want to be part of that, or I want to be like them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So then, okay,
totally.
so you become a doctor, then you get married, then you have the kids, and you went to medical school at the same time, and we're like everything together.
I was like in a rush.
So do
Yep.
I. So do I. I got divorced. I got married when I was 21, and I got divorced 2 months after. And my father was like, "Hello, the life can be longer. You don't have to do everything at the same time." I was like, "Yeah, I have to finish with everything." By the 25, I was like, "Okay, what else?" So yeah, I understand
Yeah, no, I
that
get
kind of
it. Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep.
And now we help
Totally.
people to understand their behavior and find out how they can change. So tell us a little bit, how is this program that you create, before we go to this managing the burnout and stress, but how you start, like what are the pieces that you put together in this program that you are managing? And I know it's another one, it's another kid, like you have your daughter, your two boys, your dog, and the program. It's like a very
It's
important for
true.
you.
I love that you mentioned my dog. Very important. Yes.
Yeah, I know, I
Um,
know.
yeah, it's I mean, honestly, before I created this program with Mark, as you know, Mark's played a very big part in our lives and what we're doing, today.
Yes,
And I do miss him dearly.
so do
And
I.
what happened was that maybe I'll start first with that journey, right? Like how Mark and I got really into it. I think for Mark at that time, he was also going through his own health issues, and he saw that there was actually a space for coaches to occupy in order to help other people to create the small steps towards their wellness. Because I think for a lot of people, knowing how to get there, knowing how to get healthy, is very easy. You can Google it. You want to lose weight, you want to bring down your hypertension, what diet should you do, you can Google it. You can find, more than a million answers in just less than a second, right? But if it was all about knowing, then everybody would be fit and healthy. And nobody would need any pills or any doctors or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, and even for myself, it's not about the knowing how. It's about walking on that journey, creating those small steps towards that vision of wellness that you have for
Mm.
yourself. And what coaches can do, health coaches, is walk with you, on that journey to support you. And I think that is so integral in really creating sustainable and lasting change in your health. And in terms of the components that we have in the health coaching program, right, and the things that I do, so I basically look over the whole program, and we have students from all over the world, like you, who did this all the way from Mexico.
Yeah.
But yes, we have students from all over the world. So our program is completely virtual, and what I do is I bring in speakers, who really are authorities on these different topics. Like for example, we of course have Marcus, right, who's going to talk to us about the health coaching, the process model that we and Mark and I and Marcus created, and also the different stages, right, of how do you say it? The different stages that patients or clients or coachees are in, and how to approach them depending on what stage they're in. So in our language we call it concentration and momentum, right? So we also talk about that. Also bringing in the different behavioral change models. So if you look back on the psychology of change, how do we approach the client or the coachee depending on whether they are ready for change or not? Okay,
Mm,
so as we always think, right, we can talk to clients in the same way, right? We can get them to get motivated by talking to them in the same language that we're used to, because with this client it worked. Oh, but how come with this client it didn't work? And that's something that we talk about in the program, is what language do we use depending on where that client is. Because for example, if the client is still in, let's say, preparation, right, they're still thinking about, this change, they're making steps towards it, but they're not there yet.
mhm.
Would you talk to them in the same way as somebody who's already made progress? They're already creating their action, right? So that's very important, knowing where the client is. Other things that we bring together as well, together with people who are, how do you say it, professionals and speakers, in their different topics, is the health and wellness topic. So we have, for example, doctors who come in to talk about cardiovascular disease and stroke, hypertension, for example, obesity, metabolic syndrome. And another one that we've also added is, aging and longevity. So I think that's also something that comes up in wellness coaching, is how do you age well? How do you age gracefully? And learning what are the topics that, will come up, and how do you handle that with your coaches, I think is really important. So, yeah.
That's, yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing program. And I love when you say the stages of change. It give me, I
Remember?
love that part. No, I love it. It's one of my favorite behavior methodologies. I mean, I love also motivational interview and growing mind, fixed
Hmm.
mindset. But stages of change, I think, is something that I really apply daily, at least in my thought that am I in contemplation? Am I really determined to start doing this? I'm just contemplating
Exactly.
this. So what is my motto? If I'm really doing something and my emotions are according to what I'm saying that I want, because sometimes I want that but I don't want to do anything, so I'm not in determination yet, not even in action. But it's how I really
Totally.
just taking maybe I can get there like okay one day, or maybe not me, I don't know. So
Totally.
I love that. And can you tell us what how you get this? Because people maybe that listen to us, people maybe from our program that they are going through the coaching program in this moment, or my colleagues in India or friends that are in the States, the
Yeah.
12 lenses that you guys, I mean, with Mark or yourself, I don't know who put that together. If it could
Yeah,
be
both of us. Yeah,
both of you.
both of us did.
So
Yeah.
how you choose those 12 things, like and where are those 12 things? Because the stress is also part of, I mean, the like conscious relaxation. It's kind of how we can manage our burnout and our stress, because I do many things during the day, and every day I have a message for one of my friends or one of the people that are in my team that, oh my god, I'm so tired. And I'm like, how we manage our breathing, how we manage our conscious relaxation and give time during the day to meditate and to walk and drink water or do things that,
Yeah.
if I have to do so many things, get to that point that I'm sorry, I need 1 week to relax. And I'm like, if you relax every day, you should not, I mean, it's not a coaching conversation, it's
Yeah.
friends conversation.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
what are the 12 things that you guys put together, and then we can go to the burnout and stress.
Yeah, so I mean, it's many. I mean, it will take us a long time if we discuss, each topic. But just
Abby,
to
little
get
bit.
at to get to get at how Mark and I, came about with those different topics, we looked at different intake forms, coaching intake forms, because for the program we wanted to create one that we could give to our students so that they can use that for their coaching when they get a new client. And something that we noticed was that there were no specifics, and a lot of the health and wellness coaching intake forms that we looked at, that's widely available online, they were all, they didn't really specify on what are the different aspects of health that people wanted to work on. And something that Mark and I thought of is, actually, if we bring these different topics into people's awareness, just by reading it, bringing it up, putting down a little write up on it. Like, for example, is it nutrition? Is it hydration? Right? A lot of people don't think of hydration. How many glasses of water, are you drinking a day, for example?
Mhm.
Right? Or even, looking at, there are certain people are, certain habits that are not great for them, right? That they're creating, or their stress, for example. Like, how is your stress anyway? How is it affecting you? Okay, how is it affecting you, not just in your body, but also mentally and emotionally? What's going on? And I think when people don't stop to take a look at what's going on for them, it's very easy to just drive by life and think that everything's okay, right? It's transparent for them until there is a breakdown, right? And when there is a breakdown, and when you fall ill or you fall sick, then you pay attention to your health.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
true.
think the best place to start, if you really want to pay attention to your health, is to start now, no matter where you are on we talked about this, the Travis illness wellness, spectrum, right? From being very sick to being very well. Anybody can be on that spectrum of illness and wellness, but it doesn't matter where you are on there. You can always create more steps toward wellness, because wellness is really about a state of being. You're always in action, it's not a destination. And that's what I believe.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's true. It can take us a lot of time to go through each of them, but you mentioned three of them already. Three out of 12. So I love the way that everything is interrelated and how
Mm,
those lenses that you guys put together in this program is not just for me. I was one of those people that I didn't drink water. I was born in the desert, and I think I'm kind of a camel because I can be like 3 to 4 days with no water at all.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
have to put sometimes before alarm to drink water. Then the water was like it was something that I really hate to take, and I thought I
totally.
didn't need it. And when I understand that the water is what is going to help me with my brain also in the way I process my thoughts and my thinking process and how am I going to learn, and I was like, water, hydration is that important. And
Mm-hmm.
sleep, I have to sleep more than 6 hours because my neurons are
Yeah,
reproducing when I'm sleeping.
totally, totally. Oh my gosh, I can talk about sleep for an hour, I think, Beatrice.
You
So,
can, I can invite you
sleep.
to talk one
Oh my
hour,
gosh.
but talk 5 minutes. I love
Yeah.
sleep. So tell us what
Yeah,
you
but
think about
sleep, I'll
sleep.
talk I'll talk a bit about sleep. I think,
Yeah.
I've done over 800 hours of, executive coaching, now. And something in common that I see with, the managers, the CEOs, the executives that I'm coaching is, they always have that level of stress, particularly now with the pandemic and what's going on globally, right? It's a
Yes.
lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety. And, usually they come in looking for ways to either improve, something in business, something in their work life, right? Or something in their personal life, or manage their energy levels, right?
Yeah.
But then they never think about their sleep, right? So I look at their overall picture. I have them, fill out these lenses, increase their awareness of what's going on for them, and then I ask them about their sleep, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I'm sleeping like 3-4 hours a night," and I'm like, "Okay, okay, let's start
I
there."
was in that group.
Yeah, yeah. And even just sleeping for 7 days for just 6 hours a night. Okay, 6 hours. Recommended, by the way, is 7 to 9 hours. Studies have shown that you are operating cognitively, okay? And in terms of like, how do you say it? Your dexterity, it's as if you're working like you're intoxicated or on alcohol, just because you've had only 6 hours of sleep for a week. So imagine, for people who have had 3 to 4 hours of sleep only, or 5 hours of sleep for
Oh
many,
my
many
God.
years. Imagine what's happening to your body. Imagine what's happening to your immune system. Okay, sleep is so integral to taking out the toxins, resetting your brain, making all of those connections, those new neuronal connections, right? Processing everything that's happening in the day, filing it in your memory, and all of that. It's sort of like a computer, right? We need to shut it down once in a while, right? So it
Yeah.
will, reboot and restart. We're like that. It's a bit also akin to, you know, your phone, right? There are times when your phone will go on low battery, right? And what do? You plug it in, you recharge it, right? You
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that, you just let it be for a while. We don't think of that for ourselves, right? So sleep, rest, relaxation, so, so, so important. And I've said this in our teleclasses, and I'll say it again, and I've said it on many talks before. Sleep is the mother of health. It truly is. Okay. Your
Yeah,
day starts the night before. Okay,
it is.
so if in the morning, if you wake up, imagine you wake up with no snooze, right? You don't have to turn on your alarm so many times. You wake up, you're energetic, your mood changes. You see the world in a different way. Your productivity is different. You're more efficient, you're more
You lose weight.
effective. Yes. Oh my gosh, let's talk about that. So many people think
Yeah,
that,
I'm
they
losing
can
weight.
bring,
I'm sleeping better. I'm losing weight, and I'm like, oh
right?
my God,
Isn't
it
that
really
amazing?
has it really has
It
an
really has an
interrelation.
effect.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it also has an effect on, like, bringing down blood pressure, bringing down cholesterol. All of these things, all of the different um parts of our body need to be able to rest in order for them to work. So for me, for clients who come to me who want to lose weight, for example, or want to bring down their blood pressure, the first thing we do is we look at their sleep.
yeah. So do I.
And once the
It's
sleep is
amazing.
sorted, things will
It's,
follow. Things
sleep
will
give us a
follow.
lot of information. How you sleep and how is your hygiene in sleeping. Like TV, phone before
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
sleeping, like movies and news and many things that we should not be doing. I mean, it's not what we need at the end of the day in our brain. It's not what we need
Yeah.
to reset and remember.
Well, tell me about your journey, Beatrice, with the sleep. How many hours of sleep were you getting before?
No, now I'm in between 6:30 and 7:30.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna get for 8. I'm
That's
trying, but
okay.
my
Yeah,
body is
that's
like
fine.
waking up. But before, there were many days in my life that I did not sleep at all. Like I was the whole night awake.
Wow.
Many. I cannot say that once a week or every week, but many, because I had an exam, because I have to give the report for my boss, because I had a lot of work and I have to finish everything. And I thought I was the owner of the company because I was like super responsible instead of saying, I'm sorry, I didn't finish. Uh, or I have to do something that I have to deliver. And sometimes I'm a lot of procrastination that okay, I have 10 days, so let me do it the last day instead of starting before. So at the end I don't sleep because I have to finish something. And the thing is, I was enjoying, I was not having problems with
Mm,
not sleeping. I was really enjoying to be awake the whole night. When I have to do something, what I'm doing now is that if I go to sleep late, I try to wake up later. But the thing is that I normally wake up between 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So I'm trying to wake up a
wow.
little bit later, like
Yeah.
6:37 if possible.
Yeah.
And then I can go to sleep at 12. So if
Yeah.
I go to sleep at 12, I need to wake up at 7, for example. Or
Yeah.
but the thing is that before I go to sleep at 1, waking up at 5, 5:30, so you can
Oh
see
my
my
goodness.
yeah, 4 hours and a
Yeah.
half, right?
No, but what was that like for you? Working and waking up in the morning. How would
It
you
was
feel during
okay.
the day?
It was okay. I never had a nap. It's very weird that I had a nap until we had the nap class last month or 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. So like that conscious relaxation that I'm doing, just breathing and stop during the day, even though if I don't go to sleep, but stop, not at all. So it was not in me. But
Mm,
my process, my cholesterol was, I mean, I always
Oh,
said
that's where, yeah.
I heritage the cholesterol from my parents, but the thing is that yeah, but if I see what is my process and what is my journey, and I'm losing weight now, I'm taking care of what I'm eating and how I'm eating, and I'm putting in
Yeah, you look
practice.
great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm losing, and every day I'm losing little more. But now it's like the combination of the water I'm drinking, that I'm doing the intermediate fasting, the
Mm.
antioxidant that I'm taking, the metabolic vegetable cups that I'm doing for myself, and my sleeping. So it's a combination of everything. Like the consciousness is not just in one lens, but
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
put
I
like the
hear you.
consciousness as a all
I
together.
hear
So I'm
you.
super happy.
I hear you. That's so good. And I mean, it's, I can really feel, for you, it's like you're eternally youthful, Beatrice. Like, really, you look so young.
Ah, yeah. I'm 52, but I'm looking
You look
younger.
amazing. You look
Thank you.
amazing. You look amazing. So something I think that people, I'm turning out to be interviewing you. So we'll turn the
I know, but
tables
I,
around a
I
little
will go
bit.
back to burnout. Don't worry. I have
Okay.
time.
No, so something I wanted to ask you as well, and you tell this story actually a lot when we talk
Yeah.
about the health coaching program, is the running. You remember the
Yeah,
running?
yeah, when I started, I mean, then I stopped, and it's something that I really want to go back to, because
Mm,
one of the things that I learned in the program is like the discipline that I needed to do something that it was in my dream. But when Mark passed away, that day I didn't go to do my practice, and then 1 week, and then 2 weeks, and now it's 1 year, and I have not run in 1 year. I mean, I'm not running that much because I never ran before. I started with this idea of 1 minute, and like little by little. But the thing is that I start with 1 minute, and then I was running 90 minutes. So I got to 90 minutes in
wow.
yeah. So it was
Wow.
like super. I mean, to follow with the discipline. But I know that I stopped consciously, but I didn't, in that moment, I didn't think that I was not gonna be able to continue with that. And then I was
Mm.
start to doing so many other things that I didn't continue. But actually, I was writing down yesterday. I'm in this abundance experience right now, going through. I'm in a course with Jack Canfield, the guy that wrote the book Chicken Soup for the Soul. So
Yeah, I've read those.
yeah, okay, so he's teaching us a course in the organization that I'm in, that with the essential oils, that we are a group of people, because he's also part of this organization, and we did this program, and we have to write down what are our goals. And I was writing down the things that I want to accomplish during this next month, next year, and I was like, running was a goal for me, and I want to go back. So I'm going back with this contemplation and momentum idea of
Oh, I
going
love it.
one
I
minute.
love
And
it. I love
so
it. So could you explain that a little bit, Beatrice? Just maybe people will want to know, like, how did you get into that habit of from not running at all to doing 90
yeah,
minutes?
so I will answer that question to Dr. Kat, because she was my coach, and she thinks she's in her program, but no problem. I will answer, and then I have to go back to my question. So the way that I started is this idea of contemplation and momentum, in which when we are just contemplating, concentration, that we are just studying something, it requires that we are more uh, disciplined in the way we start doing the things. And there is a program that I don't remember who wrote this, because it was not Mark. Mark
Yeah,
took
I
it
don't
from somewhere.
remember. Yeah.
But the thing is that this guy was teaching how to, from nothing, to prepare yourself to run a marathon. And for me, it was like, it's a dream to run a marathon. So I'm 52, and I was like, yesterday, believe me, yesterday, I was taking a shower. And when I finished my shower, I said, I will run a marathon when I'm 55. So I have to start
Wow.
preparing now. So I have 3 years to prepare.
This is why I
And
brought it up.
I now I like, yeah, it's time for me to do this, because it's something that is like, it's not that I have to, it's something that I want to. And because I
I
want to,
love it.
first of all, is that I have the intention, and it's something that is me. It's a goal that I want to prove to myself that it's possible, that anyone can do anything. And if I keep saying that to my clients and to my team, that if you want, you can get it, I'm like, okay, what do I want that I'm not doing yet that I can get with my discipline? So it's something that I want to do
I
soon,
love
like
it.
in 3 years. So this program, I mean, this program, like this idea, it's a methodology that it says that, okay, the first day you run 1 minute and walk 1 minute. And you do that 3 times during 10 minutes, 3 times. And you do this 3 times, 3 days. The second week, you add time to that running time. So it's like you start running 1 minute. Then the second time is you run the second week, like 5 minutes, let's say. So it's running 5 minutes, walk 1 minute, and then again five. So it's very easy. It starts with 1 minute and then goes for 2 minutes and then 3 minutes and then 5 minutes and then ten
Yeah,
minutes and
yeah.
then
So just
15 minutes.
short increments, right? Yeah.
So it's like going little by little. And suddenly I was like, okay, 10 minutes the first day, 10 minutes the second day. And the second day is not the next day. It's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, let's say 3 times per week. So these 3 times per week, for the 4 week, it's increasing, or maybe the 6 week, increasing to 30 minutes the third day, not all the week. So when I was in my 30 minutes, I was like, no kidding. Am I running 30 minutes? But I remember
Wow.
I called Mark when I was able to run 5 minutes. After
Wow.
running 5 minutes, because I'm a dancer and I can dance hours. But I have a belief, I had, I used to have a belief that I have not, my feet are not good for running. So that was my belief. So because my feet are not good for running, I don't run. So with that idea in my mind, I never try. And I walked the Camino de Santiago in Spain, and that was 1,000 kilometers. So I can walk a lot. I can walk like 70 kilometers daily. It's okay. I don't get tired. I can walk a lot. I can go anywhere walking. It's very funny in Singapore that everybody goes everywhere by taxi and MRT, and I want to walk the whole day, and it's not
I
possible.
know. I know. Yeah.
So the thing is that how we can do everything if we start increasing little by little, one step at a time, and that small increasing, I mean, increments, whatever, that you add something else, and suddenly you are doing that. So this program teach you how to go from nothing to run a
It's
marathon.
amazing. It's
But I
amazing.
stopped when I was like kind of in the middle, and
Yeah.
it was okay for me to stop. In that moment I didn't feel to do anything, but now I want to go back to that. So I answer your question.
Amazing.
I will ask
Amazing.
my question.
Okay, go.
So Dr. Kat,
Yes.
the name of this, that we put the name that is what it was okay with you, is like managing the burnout and stress. What do you mean by
Mm,
burnout in your
yeah, but
concept of
it's a
doctor and human being? What is the burnout for? Because you have
sure.
seen CEOs, students, I mean, psychologists, doctors, many people around you. So what is that for you?
Yeah. So I think there are lots of definitions that we can look at burnout. Even when you go to the World Health Organization, right? They also have their definition of occupational burnout. But what I'm seeing in my clients is really an emotional exhaustion. That's the biggest one. An
Okay.
emotional exhaustion where there is it's as if there's no more reason to keep on doing, no more purpose because of the emotional exhaustion. There's no reason for them to keep on going. It's like basically you're walking on the, let's say, the Camino, you're walking, and all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
nope, not doing it anymore. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it anymore. And that is a lot of what I'm seeing, and it's also compounded by years and years of chronic stress, right? Years and years of chronic stress wherein people are not able to rest, relax, and recover. And I think that's the big thing. So, something that I really want to talk about today is that people talk about stress as if it's the enemy, it's the thing to be avoided. But actually, we cannot avoid stress. Okay, it's not possible. There will always be stress, and stress is not necessarily bad for you. Okay, at some point, we need that kind of stress to build muscle, right? When we carry weight, that's stress, on your body when you're carrying that weight, and that's good for you. But the question is, are you able to stop, rest, recover, and then go again? So that would be the big thing.
Mm. So what is as I hear you is like the difference. Burnout is when you let all the stress to come into your body and do nothing. I mean, stress is something that we will not be able to avoid, but
Mm,
burnout is something that we will be able to manage because
totally,
we don't
totally.
need to go to the limit. And when, oh my God, like that exhaustion that, I mean, that we feel that we cannot continue. But stress is something that if somebody passes away, we get stressed. If something like the pandemic brings stress, if I don't have the job that I used to have, maybe, I mean, it's not that nothing happened. No, it's something that, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay the tuition of the school of my kids? I mean, there are so many questions that can bring us with different circumstances that are happening. But if you, as you said, if we are able to stop, rest, take care of that, be conscious, awareness that we are feeling something in our body, that we
Yeah,
can say that, oh my God, in my body, my case, because it's not everybody. So many people can say, why are you getting stressed? It's not that much. Relax. It's not important. It's not important for you, but it's important for me. So,
totally. And I want to address that, okay? Because I think for a lot of people, they compare themselves to others. There's a lot of comparison. Is okay, how come that guy is dealing with all of this stress and he seems, he seems fine, right?
mm,
And I'm dealing with this, and I'm not okay. I think we have to be compassionate with ourselves. That's a big thing. Compassionate with ourselves, and know that each person has their own limit. Okay, everybody is created differently. We all have our own experiences, our own past, our own history. So don't invalidate what's going on for you. Recognize it, right? Increase your awareness of what you're feeling. And you mentioned that earlier, what you're feeling. What's the emotion that's happening for you? So pause, take a look, and then choose.
mm,
Okay, what is it that you're going to do with that now? Okay, so a lot of burnout happens because people get stuck in that emotion. They
mm,
get stuck in the frustration, they get stuck in that anger. And that's very exhausting to be carrying that for so long.
mhm.
Right? So, what is it that you need to do to be able to get out of that? And one thing for me, I don't know about you, Beatrice, in terms of managing, my stress, um, a big thing for me that I've been doing actually, since the pandemic and everything, is just going for a nightly stroll. I do a walk 30 minutes after dinner every night.
Nice.
And I put on my AirPods. I listen to either my music or a great podcast or something funny, online, and just take a walk. And it's beautiful. It's all of the stress of the day all of a sudden just melts away. It gets out because I'm able to kind of just walk it out. My body, moves in a different way. I'm able to
Yeah.
literally like shake it off. And for me, that's what helps me, cope with the
Okay.
stress.
That's in Singapore that you live in. I mean, you can go and walk at night. I love
It's
my
true.
night walks when I'm in Singapore. In Mexico, I cannot go. I mean, not even to the pharmacy by myself walking. I'm
Mm,
in my age. I'm with an aunt, and the other day I need to do go and buy something, and she said, "Now," and it was like 8 p.m. I mean, you don't go walking. You go by taxi. You can go by Uber somewhere or by car, but the walking is not a good idea here.
yeah.
Sorry, it's the way it is. But yeah, but walking during the day or take a nap, like the other day, we have this class that how we stop and we have this chance to get away whatever tension that our body can feel. And as you say, like listening something just for fun, like something fun. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be like the
totally.
last
Totally.
agreement of the conference. It's like, like it's not
Totally. Totally.
tension time. So, but
Totally.
how you manage that is if you manage, if you go and walking, but I mean, when you are really burnt out, what is the recommendation that you can do, that you can give to people, because you work also with these CEOs and managers and many people that are not just with their own story, but the whole company in their shoulders, and they are like exhausted. And sometimes they know how to manage, and they have this homeostasis that they know how to manage internally and externally. Um, but when they don't, what they can do when once they already burn out, it's something possible, or we lost
No,
them.
totally, of course, of course. But I think, okay, I'm gonna bring this up. I've said this again and again today, but here's the interesting part. I think for a lot of people that I'm coaching, they don't even realize that they're in burnout,
Okay.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
They just say that I'm really tired. I don't have the energy. I don't know what's wrong, but I just drag myself to work. And I think that's very interesting because just helping them to notice what is going on for them, what are they
Yeah.
feeling, I
Yeah.
think is already huge, because once we increase their awareness, then they're now able to actually take action,
Hmm.
right, in order for them to produce different results in their lives. I think that's a big thing.
And so, and when they realize that they are, Miguel, it's very, as you say, very interesting. And at the same time, it can be very dangerous when we are in this
Mm,
process that I'm already, I mean, I think I have been in this burnout many times in my life before. So the reason that I got alopecia, it was that I was burned out. I was working in a company 17 hours per day. My boss was in California. I was based in Europe, and I have to talk with him at his 8 a.m. what was my 5 p.m. and I have to find out what to do during the rest of the day, that the rest of the day was just for me 5 hours, but for him was the whole day. So he pretended that I was awake the whole day. So it was like, yeah, 2 a.m. and then again in the
oh,
morning.
that's crazy.
So
Yeah.
I burned out and I lost all my hair. And then
Oh my gosh.
in another moment, I got gastritis and hepatitis and many things at the same time. And I think now, when I see my life from this me now, I see I was burned out and I didn't realize it. And that took me
Totally.
to the hospital or to, so what the people can prevent to avoid to be like in my case, that what happened to me, I had to wait so many years to get hair back. So it was not that
Wow.
I was like a Buddha, nothing, zero.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So what is your recommendation to your clients, that
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
be conscious when, in which moment is something that we can see that is coming, or is something that we can sense, or is something that we can have a thermometer in order to find out that
Yeah.
is this a stress or is this burnout?
Yeah, yeah. I think the big thing to do, like I said, first step, increasing that awareness.
Hmm.
Whether for some people, what works for them is, just journaling, how they're feeling during the day. That I think is a big one. Okay.
Yeah.
Another one is, actually, we have many relationships and friendships, right? Doesn't mean you have to get a coach. You could, if that's what the path that you want to take. But also, talking to people, right, having these conversations with them, and talking to them about what's going on for you. That's also a big thing, because they can hold up a mirror for you and show up, let hey, Beatrice, you're looking really tired, lately, or are you okay, like, just if somebody asking you, what's going on for you, for
Yeah, but
example.
sometimes the people say, if I say to one of my people, I mean to one of my friends that she just told me that she's super tired. If I say, I think you should stop, she will say, who give you permission? So how you
Yeah,
do that? The person is the one that
yeah.
needs to want that help
Totally,
above. Yeah,
totally, totally, totally. So actually, at that point, if it's totally transparent to them, sometimes it takes a big
yeah,
breakdown, honestly. And maybe for you in that case, it was, losing your hair and getting sick and all of that. It took that, kind of to, wake you up. But the message I want to give to people now who are listening is that don't wait for it to get to that point. It doesn't have to get to that point. take a look inside, reflect, what's going on for you, right? Have you created boundaries? Right now, everybody's working from home, right? A lot of people are working from home. There's no boundary between work, and personal life and the home. And everybody's working till like 10 p.m. or midnight and such. And, just notice for yourself, is that sustainable for you? Is that
Mm,
something that can carry on? And how could you create actually reminders for yourself throughout the day to pause and rest and recover? And that is so key. I mean, fine, you may need to do that for 1 or 2 nights, right? I mean, let's be realistic. There are certain deadlines that will need to be done, right away. But are you doing it the whole week? Are you doing it for 2 weeks? Right?
yeah,
When do you need to actually pause and see, okay, my body really needs to rest? And I
yeah,
think that's so important.
yes. It's very nice what you say. Like if it's 1 or 2 nights of deadlines, is okay. But when you
Yeah.
have more than 3 nights, it's not a deadline, it's inefficiency. It's
Yeah,
not
it's a tough
it's
one.
something, yeah.
It's
You
a
have
tough
to
one.
change your job. You have to go to another place. You have to find to do something different because it's sometimes this doing. Uh, it also takes us away from our being. And the most
Mm,
important thing is who we are. And the person that we are is the person that will be able to do. But we cannot focus just in what we have to do because then who we are will be like far away. And at the end of the day,
mm,
what we do is not the most important thing. Is
yeah,
how we do it being the person that we are. So, Dr.
love
Kat,
that.
I just have to thank you for being here. I don't know if you want to add something. Thank you for
I'm
all the time
good.
that you stay because I know that you wake up with this.
Yeah, my throat, sorry about that. My throat's a
No,
little
but you
bit
are perfect.
croaky, so
You are super perfect. So I don't know if you want to add something or any advice that you want to give to whoever is listening to us or just say anything.
yeah, I think, if there's something, there's one thing that I would love for you to take away from this, in terms of, stress and burnout, is just pause and reflect on what's really going on for you. How are you feeling in the moment? If you could live in your body, it's very interesting. A lot of people don't live in their bodies, they live in their
I love
heads.
to live in my body.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Said from my somatic trainer.
Yeah.
Live in your body and really notice, what is going on for you so that you can make, adjustments or better choices for yourself. You don't have to let it get to that point where chronic stress leads to burnout. Okay.
Mm.
Um, Focus on your sleep. Really. If there's one thing that you could start today, get some good sleep. Okay. And if you're not able to, have that 7 to 9 hours at night, do take a nap. We love naps, right, Beatrice?
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning the nap, the conscious nap and the nap with the eyes open. That is also possible
Mm-hmm.
just to be on the close to the nature and just stop in the moment during the day to recharge batteries. So thank you
Totally. You're
for
most welcome.
everything and for the really I love you very much and
Oh, I love you
I
too.
appreciate that you are here and all the things that I'm learning with you and have a conversation and share your thoughts with everyone else that can listen in to us. So it's amazing.
Most
I'm
welcome.
super
Thank you for having me.
grateful. No, thank you. Have a wonderful night now because you are going to
Thank you.
sleep.
Yes, time to
I'm
get my
just
8 hours.
yeah, I'm just starting the day here in Mexico. So see you soon. And I send you thousands of hugs and all my
Oh, mwah.
appreciation for everything that you do
I
for
miss you,
everyone.
Beatrice. I'll see you soon, okay?
See you
Hopefully.
soon.
In
Yeah,
real life.
in real life, exactly. So yeah, me too. I want to be there soon. Take care.
Bye,
Bye
darling.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.